Okay, for question 1, we are riding the Skyfari at the Kansas City Zoo. It's going to take you up above the zoo and then over to the other side. And this graph shows you the path that you're going to travel on the Skyfari. So the first thing we're asked is, what is point A? Point A is over here on the graph. And that is the point 0, 0. Then it asks you, what is the x value of point A? When you have a point, the first number is the x value, the second number is the y value. So the x value of this point A is 0. And then it asks, what is being measured with the x values on the graph? Well, the x values are the numbers that tell us how far to the left and right we are. So left and right. What we're measuring from the left to right is the distance from the start in meters. So these are x values. So what's being measured with the x values on this graph is the distance. And we're using meters to measure. So we're measuring the distance, we're using meters to measure. What is the y value of point A? So the y value is the second number in this point A, which is also 0. And what's being measured with the y values? Well, the y values tell you how far up or down you are on the graph. And so that is these on the side, which is the height above the zoo. That would be the y value. So what we're measuring with the y value is the height. And we are also using meters to measure the height. So then for question A on the practice test, where it asks you that you are starting the safari in the Africa section of the zoo, it tells you that it has the coordinates of point A, 0, 0, and then you need to describe the x and the y values. So the x and the y values, that's going to be the distance. The x value is the distance, the y value is the height, and then it asks you to include labels in your problem. So it's asking you, what do the x and the y value mean for this problem? Well, if we have the point A, 0, 0, then the x value is 0, which means that our distance from the start is 0 meters. Our distance from the start is 0 meters. That is what our x value means. So if our x value is 0, that means our distance from the start is 0. For our y value, the y value is also 0. And that means that since the y values are the height, our height above the zoo is 0 meters. So for part A, when it was asking you to describe the x and the y values of the coordinate and what they represent, or another way we've asked this question before is, what does the point A, 0, 0 mean in the context of the problem? Well, A is the point 0, 0, and that means that we have 0 distance from the start and we have 0 height above the zoo. So the most simplest form that you could put this answer would be the point is A, 0, 0, which means 0 meters in distance and 0 meters in height. All right. So this is what you should be putting on part A of this practice test.